crazy on this beat.
I'm about to go hard like a big dick, yeah. Watch how you talk, should expect beat, yeah.
Hey, hello Sanmurani, hi. In front of you right now is the sexiest man on the planet, you feel?
Okay,
2 very boring minutes later.
Going for gold, I'm building a Monday, roll up, bang it high. Inside everywhere, east side, south side, north side, west side,
Approximately 10 hours later.
You know, sexiest man on the planet, yeah? So, yeah, getting right on to why we're here today. Firstly, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in, love you guys, show is hella amazing. I appreciate all of you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. I had the honor of, interviewing Mr. Keaton Roux, who's best known as Coach Keatz. Mr. Keaton Roux had an amazing journey, as a football player, and he's definitely leaving his mark as a development coach, So without wasting a lot of time and without saying a lot of things, let's just dive right into it, yeah? Don't forget, you're chilling with the sexiest man on the planet, yeah? Hey, hello Sanmurani, hi. Thank you guys for tuning in today. With me here is Coach Keatz, and we'll be focusing on a few things, mainly when he was still a football player, and just touch base on him being a coach right now. So thank you for being here and making time for us, Coach.
It's a pleasure, Fortune.
Okay, so diving right into it, firstly I'd just like to ask, what sport did you play and why did you choose that specific sport?
Besides football.
Or let's just say football.
I think for me it was a very easy choice. My dad was a footballer, football coach as well. So for me it was just natural. Every weekend I'm with my dad on the football field. During the week I'm with him at training, and eventually I started training and playing football myself. So for me it was more following my dad's footsteps, and then the passion came later on.
Okay, good. So we know that time's a bit different from how it is right now. So was it, now regarding opportunities, were you guys allowed to at least represent your province or the country? Was it easy for...
The opportunities were there, so that was the time of Easterns, and then you have your Northerns, and those were areas that we looked to, those opportunities we looked to try and get ourselves into, and we knew that playing in certain leagues allowed us to progress to those opportunities. So coming from the East Rand, Nigel specifically, you're playing teams in Boksburg, Brakpan, Edenvale, Pretoria. Now you start playing these GDL leagues, Gauteng Development Leagues. So the opportunities were there, but if your structure doesn't make you realize what opportunities there are, it's very difficult for you as a child, a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 13-year-old to know these things. I mean, we didn't have Instagram, so for us it was very different. So we had to really listen to what was being told to us, and the opportunities that were shown, we soaked it in, and we tried to go for more and more.
Okay, good. And with that being said, I know it might have been a long time, but are there any interesting incidents that you can remember from your time as a football player?
I think the highlight for me was having a full scholarship to play for Man United soccer schools in South Africa. That was in Centurion, under Steve Hout, the best development coach there'll ever be, in my opinion. Sean Bishop as well. Those for me are guys who saw something in me, and as I grew into a footballer and a coach, I realized the value that they carried all the years. So for me that was the highlight for me, knowing that I can make it at this level, I can progress. Somebody saw something in me, so that for me was a highlight.
So I'm guessing that highlight was also the achievement that you can look back at and say you're proud of.
Definitely. I mean, to be spotted, I was spotted at Super League. I was 13 years old, 14, spotted at Super League, and then given the opportunity to play under them. That for me was something I'll always consider highlight, always.
So you've mentioned a few coaches when you were telling me about that. So I'm guessing those are the coaches that played a major role in your life.
Big role.
So when it came to training, how was it? How did you travel? And with matches also, how was, now I think we should focus on transport arrangement. How was it to get there? Was it easy getting there or things like that?
It was easier being on a scholarship because we were housed as well. So our location was South Downs in Centurion, so the facilities are amazing. We stayed in the hostel, so transport wasn't a problem. Fortunately enough for myself, I had parents who were able to come to my games, come and watch. Traveling wasn't really an issue for them. They were there every weekend. So for me, I can't say I struggled with those issues. You know, I was fortunate enough to be in an environment where the pressure's taken off my parents. I just have to do my best. So that for me, that I can say about transport and the nitty-gritties that a lot of players go through. I was fortunate enough not to go through as much as other players went through, but I was extremely grateful for the opportunities and I relished it and I soaked it up as much as I could.
Okay. Now, when it comes to your whole career as a footballer, when did you stop playing and is there a reason behind you stopping?
Now, this is always one of those topics that you think back and sometimes there's a lot of pain, So for me, I stopped playing at the age of 18, 19. That was 2010, 2011. I hung up my boots, mainly because I was more impatient with myself. I believed I should have had a contract by 17, 18. If not latest 19, because I knew that football is not the only way to make it in life. I knew that if I've given myself this time and I don't make it in that time, I need to look at plan B, which was education. And I don't regret it, but I do wish that I was a little bit more patient with myself.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that your father was a former footballer himself and a coach. So now, does that say that you had other options also? When it comes to sports, or were you just focus mainly on soccer due to your father also being someone who once played it?
Now, my dad was a very balanced person, still is to this day. As much as he made you realize that you can make it in sport, he also made you understand that education is just as important, if not more important. You have to be able to provide for yourself, to live a beautiful life for yourself and your family, and that's something he always instilled in me, is that the decisions you take is not only for yourself, it has to benefit other people. So me not being where I wanted to be at 17 and 18 in terms of football, I didn't feel the pressure that I didn't succeed. I was like, this was a goal I set, didn't happen, but I have another plan. So for me the balance was there.
Okay, that's good, coach. Now, if you had an opportunity to be young again, would you still participate in soccer?
Definitely. There's nothing else I would go back in time to do differently or more better is football, definitely.
Okay. Now, this question might touch a lot of people because there are a lot of comparisons between your guys' time and our time. So, what do you think the players from your time did better than the players of our time, or what are we doing better than you guys before?
I think the players of the younger generation, I don't think we give them enough credit. As much as you guys might have more opportunities than we had, right? You guys are relishing the opportunities. You guys are using all the tools as best as you can. Social media, you guys are using it. You guys are creating profiles for yourself. We didn't have those kind of opportunities, where you guys can do everything from your phone.
Now it's simpler.
We had mix it. So we couldn't do as much as we would like to, but like I said, you guys are living in a new world. It's a different age of technology, and we have to also give you guys credit for the stuff that you guys face, peer pressure in life every day. It might have been similar to ours, but it's not the same. It doesn't mean that you went through less than us. No, you could be going through more, but if we don't put ourselves in that reference, we'll never understand. And I think the biggest problem is the understanding. Nobody wants to share their hand and say, let's find out what's the best way forward together. It's more a thing of, I'm old school, I know better, or I'm young school, I know more. So there's a bridge that must be filled, but hopefully it gets filled soon.
Now, coming to your coaching experience and the time you've had as a coach, what qualities do you think someone needs in order for that person to lead a team?
As a coach?
Yeah, and then a player too.
I think for a player, you have to be coachable. It's something that I say a lot to a lot of players, is because the higher you go, the less patience coaches are going to have with you. So you need to be coachable. You need to always take the understanding that I cannot have my ego when I'm at training. When I'm given an instruction from a coach or a technical staff member, I need to take it because it's for the improvement of myself and my team. So I'd say the most important thing is be coachable. Because once you're coachable, everything else falls into place. The dedication comes, the time management comes, the respect comes, the passion increases. So first be coachable, you know. Understand that what you are being told is a coaching point, but also a point of guidance and correction. So if you can take that, immediately you're a better player. And coaches tend to latch onto players who are coachable because they know I can trust this player to take the instruction and execute it, you know. So for me as a player, be coachable. And I think the best as a coach, you have to be understanding, you have to be patient, you have to be lovable. You know, you have to get down to your players level, you know, whether you're coaching grassroots or senior football. For a kid, I have to understand his world, I have to understand where he's at. So the relationship is very important, you know. Be very grounded as a coach, be passionate about what you are doing, and be understanding, because these are little humans or young adults that you're working with, and they are going through stages of development and growth. So as a coach, you have to understand these things, and once the understanding is there, you create a bond with players that's it's inseparable. So those, I would say, is the most important things as a player and a coach.
Okay, thank you, coach, because I feel like those are important points, because there are coaches where, you know, you see that they do want to coach, but there are certain qualities that are lacking in them, hence players don't go forward or players end up giving up. And we see that a lot in townships where there's no motivation for players, and the coaches are also not putting in the needed work actually for players to go forward. Now, when it comes to training and conditioning, is there a specific philosophy that you follow?
I won't say a specific philosophy, but principles and fundamentals, I stick to it. So conditioning will always be different because there's different stages of the season. I mean, you have pre-season, you have post-season, and then during season. So conditioning is very, very important. I do believe in conditioning with the ball. I tend to do away from the old school way of running laps and running hills and back and forth, you know, the box runs, lines. I don't see as much value in that as I do see doing conditioning with the ball, because that's fundamentally that's what you're going to do in the game. So I believe in training how you're going to play. So you're going to play how you train. So if I condition you with the football, ultimately your play will just increase and improve game day as well.
So as a football coach, which coach do you think was influential in shaping your current coaching style?
So for myself, I love development. I don't see myself in a Premier League. I don't see myself in a PSL first team. That's not where my passion is. The passion is development. So I tend to look at development coaches who are now where I would want to be in the future. So my dad will be number one, you know, because he went on his coaching courses to improve me as a player. So he's always going to be number one on my list. A lot of values I take from him. Second up there, I'm going to put Fabian Randall's brilliant development coach. He shaped a lot of my thinking on the field and off the field. Steve Hout, I don't think there's enough words to describe how brilliant he is. Along with Sean Bishop, the head of methodology at Sundowns, phenomenal. What they've taught me 10 years ago, I see coaches only trying to do now. Another one is Sandra Govender as well. Brilliant. Intellectual, real football man. Another one is Greg Mashilo as well. I've watched him with SA under 17s, brilliant coach. Those are coaches I tend to look at. Another one is Duncan Crow in Cape Town. He was at Santos. Those are the guys I look up to, and those are the guys who influence how I coach, because I've taken positives from them, and I've seen now as a coach that they've stuck to fundamentals and principles, and that just makes it easier for me to follow and be shaped by them.
Okay, now when it comes to football, which elements about football excite you to come to work every day and continue doing what you're doing?
I think the fact that every day is different, you know, every session is never the same, because I'm constantly dealing with different players, different humans, different attitudes. He might have had a good day, he might have had a bad day. So for me, it's the certainty of uncertainty. That for me is everything, because it forces me to improve, adapt, quickly tweak, quickly change on the feet, quickly. There's no time to always plan ahead. I have to deal with what's happening now, you know. So for me, I take it as I got a red card just before the game now. I gotta
Yeah.
sort it out. So I take training. I take the certainty of uncertainty to a level of craziness.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So what would be your advice to aspiring football coaches?
I would say your coach wasn't always right.
Yeah.
Understand that first, that as a youngster, your coach, as much as you loved him, he wasn't always right, or he didn't always
Yeah.
do things correctly. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Hold your own identity. Be true to yourself. Be true to who you are. But very importantly, do your coaching courses.
Yeah.
Do your diplomas, your licenses, your badge. Do it.
Yeah.
It's going to help you because it's showing you why you do A, B, C, D, when to do A, B, C, D, how
Oh,
to
yeah.
do A, B, C, D. So that for me it's
It's
key,
important. Yeah.
because football is not a sport of opinions. You cannot coach from opinions. Fundamentals and principles. It's always going to come to that.
Yeah. So as a football coach, now I know you've accomplished a lot as a footballer. Now as a football coach, is there something that you can say you've achieved so far, and what else are you looking to achieve in the near future?
Something I would say I would like to think I achieved is getting players to the next level. From Super League to Castle, from school football, getting you into a professional academy structure.
Oh yeah.
And for me, I like to see players get to the next level, and I want to be a part of that player's journey. So players who I've identified as talented and can go to the next level very soon, I then create profiles for them and I share with Mamelodi Sundowns.
Oh yeah.
I've actually been assisted with a scout from Mamelodi Sundowns who has helped me do these profiles for players. And that for me is what I want to do to get players to the next level. So that for me is an achievement, and I want to continue achieving getting players to the next level. That for me is the number one goal.
Okay, thank you so much, coach, for your time, and
Pleasure.
I believe a lot of people will learn a lot from this interview. Not only players, but also coaches, because I believe there's a lot that coaches should learn and that players should learn too, because I believe the relationship should be mutual and not just one-sided. So thank you so much for your time, coach.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I hope you guys enjoyed it, and there's more coming up. Just like, comment, share it, and hit the notification button, because there's a lot of content that's coming through. So thank you so much, guys. Love you all. Yeah.
Shortcut is a shortcut to start the game. Don't take shortcuts. Yeah?
Coach. So coach, I blocked somebody's shots and then they ended up scratching me.
You're doing well there. I saw you.
Someone scored a goal with his knee.
I saw. And you the penalty, You are lucky there, ne?
He won.
So,